What's up, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to show you how much protein that you should be eating in order to transform your physique. Everyone knows that protein is going to help you build more muscle, but how much protein that you specifically need to help you build that muscular physique that you're after? There's a ton of information online that shows you how much this person eats and how much this person eats, but that doesn't solve the issue of how much you should specifically be eating because it does differ from person to person. Now, I was able to figure this out and make this great transformation over the past 8 years, and I also help guys out do the exact same thing. Protein is absolutely essential for building more muscle and building that muscular physique. So if you want to learn how much you should be specifically eating, you need to watch this entire video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing I want to show you is this graph right here. So what you need to understand is that protein has a high thermic effect of food. What that means is that your body is going to be burning more calories just by digesting protein. So when you increase your protein intake, your body is burning more calories just by digesting that protein compared to carbs and fats. You're going to be burning more calories just by digesting it. Now, it's not significant, but it does matter. And your metabolism is going to be building up and working more when you have more protein in your diet. The next thing is protein is going to help you build muscle mass. And most people know this, but when you increase your protein intake, you're going to be increasing the amount of muscle mass on your body. If you pair that with training, obviously. When you have more muscle mass on your body is going to be burning more calories just by living, just by staying alive, just by having more muscle mass. Your body's going to be burning more calories. So your metabolism is working a lot more when you have more muscle mass on you. And this is why you see a lot of guys that may weigh 200 pounds, be really muscular, really lean, and be able to eat a ton of food and stay lean and not really gain any weight by eating a significant amount of calories because their metabolism is working at a really high rate. You may weigh the exact same as someone else, but they may be able to eat a ton of calories and not gain any weight. But when you do the exact same thing, you just gain weight because your metabolism isn't working at the exact same rate as someone else's that has a lot more muscle mass on you. So it's very important that you increase your protein intake and increase your muscle mass so that you can actually burn calories at rest a lot faster. So other than that, what are the benefits of protein, increasing your protein intake? Now, there's a bunch of them. Obviously, everyone knows that protein is the building block of building muscle. You need to have enough protein in your diet in order to build muscle and maintain muscle. And a lot of people think that, if you just go into the gym and you lift weights and you do some cardio, you're getting in great shape. But you can't outwork a bad diet, and you can't increase the weights and increase the reps slowly over time in the gym if you're not getting enough protein. And this is why so many people they look the exact same year after year after year, even if they're consistent with going to the gym. It's because what they're doing outside of the gym is their nutrition is really bad and they're not getting enough protein. So they're staying the exact same, they're using the same weights continuously over time and not building any muscle and not changing the way that they look. Right? And it's also very important. It's even more important when you're trying to lose weight because it helps with weight management. When you're decreasing your calories, super important that your protein still stays high because of multiple reasons. You want to maintain that muscle mass, but protein also is the most satiating macronutrient. So what that means is it's going to keep you full the longest compared to carbs and fats. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. Protein keeps you full way longer than a gram of carbs does. So carbs don't keep you full. They just give you energy for your workouts and after your workouts, and they're still important, but they don't keep you full. Fats will keep you full, but fats are 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So it's more than double the amount of calories than 1 gram of protein. So protein is your best bang for your buck. It's going to keep you full for longer, and it's super important for when you're trying to lose weight. Like I said before, it also helps boost your metabolism. It's going to help with bone health, appetite control. When you have more protein, you're not going to feel as hungry. You're not going to overeat. You're not going to eat you're not going to have cravings for unhealthy snacks. So it's super important that you get your protein in that way. It's also very important for repairing your muscle. When you're working out in the gym, you're damaging your muscle and you're promoting more tissue to be built. And if you're not getting enough protein in throughout the day, you're not helping repair that muscle that was built or that was torn down, and you're not promoting any more to be built. So you need to make sure you're getting enough protein so that you can actually build more muscle. And it's also going to help you with boosting your immune system so you don't get sick as much. And if you do get sick, it's going to be a lot less of a sickness. And then you're also going to have improved skin, hair, and nail health as well, which is just, simple things that help with overall health in general. So how much protein do you specifically need, right? It's going to differ from person to person, but typically anywhere from 0.8 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. Most people just like to say easily just 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you're a 200-pound guy, 200 grams of protein is going to be perfectly fine. But there's different ranges on where you should be. So you should start with the lower end if you've been under eating protein for a significant amount of time. Most of the clients that I work with when they first come in, they have been under eating their protein. Anywhere from like 100 grams to 120 grams of protein per day, but they more likely need around 200 grams. And that's a big jump to make. So you shouldn't automatically go up to that 1.2 if you've been under eating. So start at 0.8. So for example, if you're a 200-pound guy, instead of trying to eat 200 grams of protein when you've not been used to it, maybe start off at 0.8, which would be about 160 grams of protein, and then slowly over the course of a couple of weeks, you can increase to 170, 180, work your way up to that 200 grams of protein, and go from there. Now, you should start on the higher end of the protein diet if you've just been used to a higher protein diet in general. But don't go higher than 1.2, and the reason for not going higher is because you're going to be taking away calories from your carbs and your fats. And that's not what you want to do. Carbs and fats are very important. I'm going to make videos specifically on the importance of carbs and the importance of fats, because if you're not getting enough carbs, you're not getting enough fats, you're not going to have good energy levels. Your hormones can get out of whack. You get bad quality sleep, bad workouts, bunch of different factors that can go into there if you're not getting enough of those. But I'll talk more about that and get more into depth in those videos later. But don't the more protein you have doesn't always mean the better. If you stick between that 0.8 to 1.2 grams, you're perfectly okay, and you're in the perfect range to build the most amount of muscle. Now, how do you hit this specific protein goal, right? If you've been under eating your protein, you may be like, oh my God, how am I going to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight? That just seems absolutely impossible. There's a few different things that you need to do. So specific foods that you should be eating I listed a few here. There's a bunch of other ones, but chicken, turkey, beef, steak, eggs, egg whites, whey protein, Greek yogurt, fish are great options. These are the ones that I stick to on a year, every single year. I'm eating these on a consistent basis. I'll switch them out depending on what my goals are at the current moment, but those are great options, great sources of protein. Now, if you're losing weight, the leaner the meat, the better. So some of these are leaner than others. For example, the leaner meats on here are chicken, egg whites, whey protein, fish, like white fish, shrimp. Those are great options. They're super, super lean. They're essentially just straight protein. Some of the other options on here, like turkey, beef, steak, eggs, they have a good source of fat in them. And what that essentially means is that they're going to be higher calorie amounts than the leaner meats. So if you're trying to lose weight, you should be eating a leaner source of protein so that you can have more calories to put into your diet elsewhere, right? And it's going to be a lot easier for you to hit your protein goal when you're eating these leaner meats, because, for example, if you have 4 ounces, or let's say, for example, you have 6 ounces of chicken and you compare that to 6 ounces of steak, the 6 ounces of chicken is significantly less calories than the 6 ounces of steak. It's also significantly more protein than the steak. They're both still very great options, very healthy options for protein, but the chicken's going to be less calories and it's going to be it's going to be higher in protein. So that's definitely the option that you should take if you're trying to lose weight. Now, does that mean that you can't eat turkey, beef, and steak when you're losing weight? No, by all means, you can definitely do that, but you just have to be more cautiously aware that it's going to be more calories, so you're not going to be able to eat as much other foods like carbs and other sources of fat throughout the day, because the steak is more calories than the chicken. So keep that in mind. The leaner the meat, the better. Next up, to increase your protein goal is to increase your serving sizes. The serving size on most meats is 4 ounces. If you look on the back, it'll say 4 ounces and it'll say 100 and however many calories per 4 ounces. And 4 ounces is not that big. It's usually the size of your fist. And most people can eat more than just a fist size serving of protein. So what you should do is you should increase that to 8 to 10 ounces. And what this is going to do is it's going to significantly increase your amount of protein that you're eating throughout the entire day. So if you're typically eating a meal, let's say it's chicken, some potatoes, some vegetables, maybe some avocado, whatever. It may come out to 500 calories, but the protein that you're getting, if you're only eating 4 ounces of chicken, it may only be 25 grams of protein. And, you're not getting really that much protein in the carbs, and you're not really getting much protein in the vegetables and the avocado. So that meal may only be 30-ish grams of protein. But if you increase that from 4 ounces to 8 ounces, now you've doubled your protein by not really increasing the amount of calories that much. And that's going to help you get your protein goal a lot easier. 4 ounces is not a significant amount. By increasing it to 8 to 10 ounces, you're going to be getting at least 45 to 50 grams of protein per meal. And it's going to be very, very easy for you to hit that protein goal. Lastly is to plan out your meals the day before. This is crucial because what most people do is that they will just kind of go about their day every single day. They'll wake up, they'll have their breakfast, they'll have their normal lunch, they'll have their dinner. They'll try to get more protein in throughout those meals, but they usually end up back-ending all of at the end of the day, they realize, okay, I only have 500 calories left, but I need 70 grams of protein. That's really difficult to do. But if you plan your meals out the day before, you can make sure you get a high protein diet or a high protein breakfast, a high protein lunch, a high protein dinner, and then some snacks in there throughout the day, and you're easily hitting your protein goal. It's also keeping you accountable too. So if you track your meals the day before, then when you wake up the next day, you're like, okay, I took time out of my day yesterday to plan out these meals. I'm just going to go make this meal. And as long as I just stick to the meals that I made the day before, I'm going to hit my protein goals, I'm going to hit my calories, and I'm going to be one step closer to my goals. So plan your meals out the day before. It's going to help significantly. So key takeaways at the end of the day, guys, is anywhere between 0.8 and 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Stick to eating these sorts of proteins like chicken, turkey, beef, steak, eggs, etc. Stick to the leaner meats like chicken, like egg whites, like whey protein, white fish, shrimp, because they're going to be higher in protein, lower in calories. And plan your meals out the day before. It's going to help you significantly. So, and like I said before, protein by no means is the only thing you need to worry about when it comes to nutrition. It is very important to help you build muscle, but getting enough carbs, getting the right amount of fat is super, super crucial. So I will be making videos about those in the coming weeks. If you guys want to see those, make sure you turn your bell notifications on. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those videos in the future. If you guys aren't already following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me there at Corey.Hilliard. And I'll see you guys in the next one.